It's better to be lucky than good. Low busted play there, but you continue to play through it, and you get a layup at the basket. CP3 is easiest bucket.
Boy, backdoor cut, and that says a lot about Ben Simmons.
Philly basically have a lot of guys that can, finish around the rim, and Simmons is one of those guys as well.
That is Simmons' game to a T, and that's what he will to open three-point shooters.
And most of the time when Tobias Harris makes a three-pointer, you don't really celebrate it like he did. He had missed 23 in a row. That's a great poke away by SGA in transition.
Thunder force another turnover. Now, Gilgeous-Alexander, boy, passed up a layup.
In the floor that can bring it up and try to get him the basketball. A little bit of a height difference between he and SGA.
Let's check in with Nick.
Well, Mike, the height advantage is happening really to Embiid.
Out to Horford. Nope, Simmons trying to tap it out to a teammate. Got it back as, again, he had that size advantage on Gilgeous-Alexander. Now Horford swings it over to the corner. Embiid on the drive, and Richardson's going to get called for the
ball watching in white, and they were called for it. And you got a free throw out.
Nader was able to slip back on the inbounds pass from Schroeder. Took a bump in the face. Paul's at 42% from downtown in the season.
Oh, CP3 is such an unselfish player. And he looked like he didn't want to call his number, but he realized the clock was winding down. And he did the next best thing, is take the shot. You talk about, you've been able to withstand, because that's an execution play. That's just a timing thing between the screener and the ball handler.
Paisley went for the ball fake, and Cormac makes
on defense for extended minutes also.
Billy Donovan talks a lot about making defenses pay on closeouts. As there's a tough step back from Paul. As Harris trying to drive. Noel was with him step for step. Ball still underneath. Harris, another three. Boy, he came in. The heat check for Harris. Been shooting it well. As Paul, that is a really tough step back. Still 42% three-point shooter. I don't know if that was a pass or a shot. Either way, it was way off the mark. Grazed the bottom of the backboard, and Billy Donovan trying to stealthy defense below the free throw line. There's a big mismatch here. Embiid passed out to the wing, and it's long rebound out to Simmons. Scott catch fire. No good. The Sixers, beautiful play. The high bounce pass from Steven Adams, acting like a point guard.
That's just old school basketball, the give and go. He gave it right to Steven Adams and took off, got it back.
Simmons, but he has perfected it. His ability to recognize when a defensive player is not going to be able to get out of the way, and he's going to be able to initiate the contact. And the Thunder have a massive advantage. Uncorks, no. Embiid followed the shot, loose change inside. And the Thunder with 4.4. SGA gets fouled by Simmons. The lane outside, Gallinari. You don't mind him taking as many outside shots as he wants. And Simmons, at some point, that he's going to try to assert himself. He was very quiet in the first half, Mike. Now with 6 points.
And that's his left hand. That's what he likes to do, play in transition. Thunder did a great job of keeping him out of transition. Simmons will get called for the foul. Just trying to not allow the 76ers to get any kind of offensive rhythm started here.
Oh, what great defense by SGA. Just swiped it away from Simmons as he was trying to spin toward the bucket. Despite the disadvantage, and there will be a bump and a foul.
To get frustrated. Because, it wears you out after a while.
It forced Embiid to go further and further away from the lane. There's a tough drive by Harris, but redirected by Simmons, who caught that rebound. Completely forgot about him.
But once you get him on your hip, you got to keep him on your hip to give Adams credit for setting that massive screen to get him that space.
SGA knocked it away. And the follow again, this one by Richardson.
Really is #1 in the NBA right now, folks, at not giving up second chance points.
When the pressure on the ball out to Harris. Harris has to dump it off. And how about Simmons at 1 on the shot clock? Horford got his hand up just in time. Thunder get back defensively, but a better cut there by Harris, who caught it in stride. to make a move. It's disappearing, now down to 2. One goes right at Simmons. Wanted to try to get contact on a foul. And Simmons outside to the open, Horford straight away. Nope, and the long rebound. Horford reloads, and you can't give him 2 chances, otherwise he'll make you pay. Efficient on those mid-range jumpers when he gets going. Just runs that pick and roll action with Noel. Horford this time passes up the 3, and we get.
And that time he got no help. Another good-looking 3 by Ferguson.
Scott the trailer, and another 3 for Philly.
A turnover situation until we fouled him there at the end. That little touch or fingernail foul.
They got double teamed. Passed out to Adams, but it went off of his hands. Here comes Philly. And the run continues for the Sixers. Now 14-2 here in this third quarter to take a potential replay. Billy Donovan says no, get back on defense. Simmons. And we get a foul underneath.
But he can allow them to throw it over the top to him.
Here is Embiid. He headed back to the basket, and we get another follow slam, this one by Simmons. And so the offensive rebounding of Philly was a problem in the third. He just knows exactly what he's supposed to do wherever he is on the floor.
I mean, much needed too. Thunder been able to get to that painted area.
Simmons, and that's another offensive foul. Sold nicely by. Uncharacteristically quiet night for him. As Harris. Backdoor cut. Simmons on the reverse. Slips behind the defense.
That's a good play for Philly. Got the Thunder watching for 3-point shooters. Simmons had a couple of those already. Backdoor cuts.
And Paul with Horford hand in the face. Thunder's offense is dried up here in this fourth quarter. Just 3 points. There is a lob, but Harris didn't have the angle underneath the cup. Thunder trying to push, and we get a foul on the floor in transit.
On the night, and that's showing you once again a different move, different look. Much needed bucket, as you mentioned, on the offensive end for Big Blue.
Boy, that is a 3 knocked down by 21, and a big shot to make it a 1-point game.
And you run them all the way down the shot clock. And he makes a tough finish like that. So the defense is right there.
Well, there's the swing through.
As it is double digits right now, making it very difficult on the 76ers with 1:06 to go here in overtime.
Richardson's quick trigger 3 makes it a 7-point game with 64 seconds. Season high for him, 28. That'll be a foul on Simmons, and he is fouled out of the game. That is number